I know why you're here. You're here for the best breakdown there is when it comes to the Super Bowl. You're here for the Big Show and Greg Cosell.
The Big Show.
So, Greg, I always have mixed emotions around this time of year because this is the last game preview, at least, you're going to do. Next week, we'll talk to you, obviously, about what we saw in the Super Bowl. But this is the last game we have to look forward to for quite some time. Thankfully, you join us every year breaking down the top prospects, especially the quarterback, in the lead up to the draft. And I finally give you a few weeks off after the draft, but looking forward to it. I guess before we even get to specific sides of the ball, specific matchups, is there sort of a theme you have in this game, Greg, about what you think some of the most important factors are going to be?
Well, Ross, that would start getting into some of the specifics. You know, I'm not necessarily an overriding theme guy because I think a lot of those things are very basic. I mean, it's easy to say, for instance, well, I think the Patriots are going to run the ball, or I think the Rams have to stop the run. Those are just general points. Then you sort of get a little further into the weeds, which is kind of what I do and the way I see it, because I think that a lot of those other things are just, you know, they're the very general overview points.
Yep, I think that's a good point. So let's start with when the Patriots have the ball on offense, because it's funny, you'll appreciate this, Greg. I read a story by Herbie Teope from NFL.com. He was at the Pro Bowl, and he interviewed guys on teams that have beaten the Patriots. So he interviewed some of the guys from the Steelers like Cam Hayward or Xavier Howard from the Dolphins, and they all kind of said the same thing. The whole key against the Patriots is you got to get Tom Brady off the spot. You got to pressure him, you know, get him uncomfortable. You know, Greg, that sounds great. They've gone against the Chargers and the Chiefs, and he has been touched twice. No sacks, Greg. Touched twice. So that sounds great. I guess the question is, how do you do it, and do you think the Rams can do it?
Well, but people have been saying that, Ross, for 10 years. That's not a new thing. You know, everybody knows that. You know, it's just like when something works on a particular day, people say, well, there's the blueprint. Everybody knows how to do these. It knows what to do. It's just how do you get to do it? And obviously, there's other factors involved. Keep one thing in mind. The Patriots have been a running football team in the playoffs. Sony Michel had 16 carries in the first half. Okay, 16 in the first half against the Chargers and 19 in the first half against the Chiefs. So they're starting their offense by running the football, and as long as they're successful doing that, it becomes very, very difficult to create long yardage situations in which you can do just what everybody says that you have to do, which everybody knows.
You know, I interviewed Jimmy Devlin, the Patriots fullback, on Friday for
he's an Ivy League guy, isn't he?
Podcast. He is. He's got a crazy story. I mean, was a Brown, ended up playing for the Oklahoma City Yard Dogs in Arena 2 for $200 a week with a Brown engineering degree. Next thing you know, Greg, he'll be an Amherst grad that just watches film and talks about it on football.
There you go. There you go. It can be done. It can be done.
But so I guess my question is, and I don't know if you can separate the two, but the Patriots' running game success, how much of it do you feel like is scheme-driven, where they are getting clear mismatches, like I felt like the Ravens did when they had Lamar Jackson and some of the run game I mean, you could just see it, right? You could just see there was nobody there. There were guys wide open versus they're really just blocking that effectively and winning those matchups.
Well, when it comes to the Patriots' run game, when you start talking about Sony Michel in particular, almost half of his carries this year have come out of 21 personnel with your buddy Devlin on the field. And one thing that stands out when you're watching tape, particularly over the last 5 or 6 weeks, I didn't go back further than that, but every run has gone to Devlin. So you can key Devlin. Now, the Patriots know this too, and I think they'll self-scout in these 2 weeks. But if you just go back and look at the last 5, 6 weeks, where Devlin goes, the ball goes when they're in 21 personnel. So that's something obviously that the Rams will know, but now you get into the chess match, and will there be self-scouting by the Patriots? Will they change that up and create some other opportunities?